back to my channel, The Baking Diva. And to all my new subscribers, welcome aboard. I'm happy you decided to follow me on this little baking journey. Before we begin today, I'd like to give a couple of shout outs. First of all, I'd like to give a big shout out to my husband Tim, better known to all of you who follow me as the cameraman. If I was just doing a makeup video where I could sit at a vanity in front of my computer screen, I could do it all by myself. But doing the baking videos makes it a little bit harder. You need to videotape yourself when you're talking, and then you need to sort of go on down and video, you know, what you're doing, and it's just hard for one person to do. So anyway, he's been with me a lot of years, and he's still with me, and he's agreed to be my cameraman. He's getting better at it every day. So thank you, Tim.
Grazie.
You have anything to say, cameraman?
No, signora.
Okay. And he's not Spanish, and he's Irish, but all of you who know him know that, I don't know, he gets a kick out of talking in different languages. So anyway, a shout out to him. Thank you, Tim, for all your hard work. And also, today, on a personal note, I wanted to let you all know that in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have surgery on my knee. I know. I'm not looking forward to it. I tried everything I possibly could over the last 2 years not to have to go through with it, but to no avail. So I'm going to try to do a couple of recipes, as many as I can within the next couple of weeks. And then if you see I've kind of disappeared from the screen for a few weeks, I didn't leave you guys. I'm just recovering. So I just wanted to let you know that. And so we're going to get started today. Today we're going to make an Italian rum pudding cake. It's so good, and I think you're going to be surprised at how easy it is. So I have to give another shout out. I have to give a shout out to Stella. That's right. I have to give a shout out to Stella D'Oro. Because Stella D'Oro is going to make this recipe very easy. So this recipe is good for any time, but especially the holidays, and we have a lot of holidays that will be coming up. It's made with rum, so this is going to be an adult-only video. I'm using a bottle here of Bacardi rum. Rum is basically, comes from the Caribbean, and it's made from sugar cane, and it's put into oak barrels and sort of fermented in there. So we're going to be using some rum today. So I guess we should get started. The first thing we're going to need is a springform pan. Now this is a springform pan. You see on this side here, for those of you who are not familiar, there's a little clasp, and you pop it and it comes apart. When you want to put it together, you just put this on and you close it. So the idea of it is when you're ready to serve your cake, you just open the clasp, the sides come off, and the cake is there on the bottom. So I have my springform pan. What I'm going to do next is I am going to take one package of my Stella D'Oro. These are the Anisette sponge cookies. And they're great because it saves you a lot of work. You don't have to make a sponge cake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my one package. You will eventually need two, but I'm going to take my one package of Anisette sponge cookies. They look like this. They smell so good. And I am going to line the bottom of this springform pan. So I'm going to do that now. And I'll do it quickly. Now, while I was getting prepared for the video, what I did was I cooked 2 packages of Jell-O Cook and Serve pudding mix. Now this is not the instant. You have to cook this. This is the cook and serve. So I used 1 small box of the chocolate, and I used 1 small box of the vanilla. So these are already cooked. They're in their pots and they're cooling. What you want to do is cook them and cool them. Each one just takes 2 cups of cold milk. I use regular milk, not fat-free milk. So this is pretty easy, right? All I'm doing is lining the bottom of the springform pan with these delicious smelling anisette cookies. Now, if you have some space, as you can see, I'm going to hold this up. You have some space around the cookies, you can just break a couple of them and fit them in there so that they're soft, so that you fill in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to also put this recipe on the bottom of the video in the description box. So 1 box, or I should say 1 package of these cookies fits perfectly on the bottom of this pan. So I've done that. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to hop over to the stove and I am going to grab my pot of vanilla pudding that I already cooked. I'm going to stir this up a little bit. I've cooked it and I've cooled it. So I'm going to sit that there. But most importantly is the rum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3/4 of a cup of water and I'm going to add to that water 1/4 of a cup of rum. So this will give us 1 full cup total. Let me see if I got that right. Yes, I did. I might put a little drop more in for good measure.
Ah, bellissimo.
You like that, cameraman, huh? All right. Now, what you can do is you can drizzle it on top of the cookies, or you can take one of these little pastry brushes and brush it on. So we're only going to use half of it. We're not going to use the full, stirring it up here, we're not going to use the full cup, we're just going to use half the cup. So I'm going to brush this water and rum mixture on top of the anisette cookies now. I'm Italian, most of you know that who have been following me. So I grew up with these rum desserts. Whenever we went to an Italian wedding, they always had rum cake. And as a kid, I didn't like it. I'm like, ooh, why do we have to have rum in the cake? But I guess it was an Italian tradition. There's a lot of these Italian rum cakes. So anyway, using half of it, and I'm brushing it on top of my cookies. And some of you may say you don't like rum, but trust me, when you get the combinations of the puddings, the cookies, the rum mixture, you may change your mind, because I know I did. What about you, Tim? You gonna dig into this?
Of course.
Okay. All right, so that's about maybe half. All right, now I'm going to put this aside, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my vanilla pudding and I'm going to put a layer of it on top of the cookies. Just spread it all over the top of the cookies. This recipe is so easy because it comes out delicious. You don't have to sit there and bother baking sponge cake first. I'm going to take my spatula and I'm just going to spread the vanilla pudding over the top of the anisette cookies that I have drizzled in the rum mixture. So there we go. Smells good already. So let me just hold this up just so you can see for a minute what it looks like. So there it is. I just put it on top of the cookies. Now I'm going to take my second package of the anisette cookies and I'm going to put a layer of them on top of the vanilla pudding. So let me do that now. Couldn't be easier. Okay. Make sure your top is all covered with the cookies. These cookies are soft. They're not like a toast. They're a sponge cookie, so they absorb the rum mixture. Okay. There's different size springform pans. You don't want to use too big a one. I think this is a 9-inch, but I will put it in the recipe box for you. Okay. So now I'm going to take the rest of the rum mixture, the other half a cup, and I'm going to put it over these cookies. It absorbs them very quickly. I think it's easy to do it with the brush here. Makes it just easier to get everything coated. If you drizzle it, you're not really sure where it's going. While I'm doing this, I'll just mention, if you like these recipes that I'm sharing with you, don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on all the good ones I have coming up for the holidays. Tell your friends. And if you have any comments you'd like to make or questions to ask, feel free to put them in the comments section under my video on YouTube. All right. So let me just drizzle the rest of this, over this rum over these cookies. All right, now last but not least, let me just grab the pot of the chocolate pudding I made. So next, I'm putting the chocolate pudding that I cooked over the second layer of the sponge cookies. I don't usually make the cook and serve pudding. So many of my recipes call for the instant pudding. But honestly, there's nothing like the cook and serve. It really is so much better. Okay. Just spread that over the top. Use the spatula, that might work better. Baking diva. There we go. Okay. Just get all the cookies covered. Okay. Now this actually almost completes step one of the rum cake. What I'm going to do now is I am going to take some plastic wrap and I'm going to put my plastic wrap, I'm going to pat it down gently over the chocolate pudding because this is going to go in the refrigerator overnight. And with the cook and serve puddings, if you don't put the plastic wrap over it, you're going to end up getting like a gooey film on top of the pudding, and you don't want that. So we're just going to put this down on here. And this should go in the refrigerator overnight. So that's all we have for step one. Tomorrow, I'm going to take this out of the refrigerator. We are going to do the last step, which is very easy, and then we're going to have our taste testing. So I will see you tomorrow. Toodles! Oh, sorry, I didn't know the camera was on. I was just putting a little perfume on for my video. Smells good too. Just kidding. Anyway, it's morning, and I've taken the cake out of the refrigerator. Right now I'm going to take the saran wrap off the top that I put on there so that a film wouldn't form over the cooked pudding. It's in my springform pan, so I'm going to unsnap it, and I'm going to lift up the top of the pan. Going to put it into this nice serving dish. Now, I have a, I guess it's an 8-ounce container of Cool Whip. I'm going to now top the cake with some Cool Whip. I can't wait to dig into this baby. Right, cameraman?
Correcto.
This is a good one. You just take my little icing spatula, spread that on the top. Just a dish around. Doesn't that look good? I guess you can ice the sides and the top. I think I'm just going to ice the top. What do you think?
See.
But you can do whatever you please. Get a little more on there. That's my parrot, Pee-wee, in the background, squeaking. Okay, let's make that a little pretty to look at. Get around the edges. And then we're going to cut a little piece of this and see what this baby tastes like. Okay. All right. Looking good. Looking good. All righty. As I mentioned before, this is a perfect dessert anytime, but especially for the holidays. Okay, looks good. Let's smooth the top a little bit. I've seen rum cakes where they sprinkle some nuts on the top. You can do that if you wish. I'm not going to. Okay, there we have it. So let me get my dish. And I'm going to cut a little piece of this, and hopefully I'm going to be able to give it a thumbs up. Press it down. Get it out with my server. Wow, look at that baby. Does that look good or what? Move this out of the way. Get my fork. Oh, it looks good. Can you see that, cameraman?
Yes, Baking Diva.
Looks delicious. Let me taste this, and I'll let you know. Delicious. Very good. Not strong rum flavor, just enough. But I think if you want to put any more rum in it, you certainly can. It's really good. I like it a lot. Okay, well, there you have it. My Italian rum pudding cake. I hope you'll give this recipe a try, and I hope that you'll follow me along on my baking journey, and we can bake together. So I'm going to finish my cake now, and I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Love you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up. Any questions? Put them in the comments column. Toodles!